Welcome to our Parent Coffee Talk on becoming a college student athlete with a focus on the three organizations that oversee college athletic eligibility, the NCAA, the NAIA, and the NJCAA. Here we have information on the size, scope, and website for these three organizations. The National Junior College Athletic Association oversees more than 500 schools in 28 sports. The National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics oversees more than 250 schools in 31 sports, and the National Collegiate Athletic Association oversees more than 1,100 schools in 24 sports. The National Junior College Athletic Association, or NJCAA, oversees 28 sports by more than 500 schools. Each member college is required to submit their own eligibility for each sport prior to that team's first competition. Students sign a letter of intent, or LOI, and beginning in the school year 22-23, this will be done through the administration portal. The details of the program are outlined in the handbook, but the college, rather than the student athlete, completes the majority of the eligibility process. Next, we will examine the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, or NAIA, which oversees 31 sports by more than 250 schools, with 77,000 student athletes and awarding more than $800 million in scholarships. Potential student athletes must register and set up an account at play.mynaia.org. Initial eligibility for incoming college freshmen is simple. The NAIA does not have any core course requirements, and eligibility can be determined as early as the summer following a student's junior year in high school. The NAIA Eligibility Center will determine your eligibility based on your high school grades and sometimes your SAT and ACT scores, class rank, and/or dual credit. Rules can differ if you're a GED student, homeschool student, or took time off after high school. Visit playnaia.org to access details in the resource menu. This slide provides information as a flowchart outlining the potential pathways and timelines for eligibility with NAIA. The three possible timelines for eligibility are after junior year of high school, then after the first semester of senior year, and finally after high school graduation. The SAT and ACT test information is listed at the bottom of the slide. The final organization and the largest is the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or NCAA, which oversees 24 sports at more than 1,100 schools. There's a link to the NCAA Eligibility Center website at the top of the slide. The NCAA Eligibility Center was formerly known as the NCAA Clearinghouse. Its primary objective is to certify academic and amateur credentials for student athletes wanting to play sports at the NCAA Division I or Division II level as college freshmen. There are no uniform set of eligibility requirements for the Division III NCAA schools. Schools in Division III determine their own eligibility for admission, financial aid, practice, and competition within their sports. What is initial NCAA eligibility? These are the academic requirements that a college-bound student-athlete must meet in order to practice, compete, and receive an athletic scholarship during their first year at a Division I or II college or university. Subsequent years are governed by the NCAA Progress Towards Degree academic requirements. This means your grades, credits taken each semester, and your academic performance while you're at the college. Initial academic eligibility requirements and rules are different for the three different NCAA divisions, Divisions 1, 2, and 3. It's possible for a student to be eligible in one division, but not another. Remember that the Eligibility Center certification is separate from the college admission process. For some colleges, admission standards will be higher, and in some cases, significantly higher than the Eligibility Center certification process. Good examples would be Division I schools such as Notre Dame, Stanford, Vanderbilt, Duke, Rice, or any of the Ivy League colleges. It is possible for a student to be certified by the Eligibility Center but not meet the institution or college's admission standards. In addition, a student could meet the institution admission standards but not be certified by the Eligibility Center to receive an athletic scholarship or to compete or practice at the college. Here's a listing of Florida colleges and universities at the Division I and II level for the NCAA. You'll notice that Florida does not have any Division III institutions, although there are many Division III institutions located throughout other parts of the country. The NCAA set new standards for Division I eligibility for student athletes as of August 1st, 2016, with two different ways to qualify. The first is as a full qualifier, in which case the student athlete can receive scholarship money, they may practice, and they may compete. The second one is a partial qualifier, or what they term an academic redshirt. These students may not compete in the first year of college. However, they may receive athletic scholarship money and they can practice during the first semester. They must be academically successful at the college to continue to practice for the rest of the year, and then they will be re-evaluated at the end of their first academic year based on their college grades and credits to become a full qualifier. Students who are not qualified are called non-qualifiers. These students may not receive athletic scholarship, they may not practice, and they can't compete in their first year of enrollment at the college. However, they may, at the end of their first year, apply to be a qualifier again, and that will be determined based on their college GPA, grades, and credits. In this slide, we'll examine the academic requirements to become a full qualifier at the Division I level for the NCAA. Students must graduate high school and complete 16 core courses within 8 semesters or 4 academic years from the beginning of grade 9. These credits must include 4 years of English, 3 years of math, algebra 1 or higher, 2 years of natural or physical science, including a lab science if offered at the high school, 1 additional year of English, math, or natural or physical science, 2 years of social studies, 4 years of additional coursework from any of the categories above, or from foreign language or comparative religion or philosophy. Very important, 10 of these 16 core courses must be completed before the 7th semester of high school or before the beginning of senior year. 7 of the 10 courses that are completed prior to senior year must be in English, math, or natural science. Also, students may not earn grade forgiveness for 10 courses before the 7th semester. These courses are locked in for the purposes of the NCAA GPA calculation on the core classes, and no grade forgiveness for these 10 courses will be awarded for students who retake the classes during their senior year. The GPA, core GPA, must be a minimum of a 2.3. Student eligibility is determined based on a sliding scale where the GPA and test scores are measured, and the higher the GPA, the lower the test score can be, and vice versa. Partial qualification for Division I NCAA participation is referred to as an academic redshirt. These students may receive athletic aid in the form of athletic scholarships, and they can practice, but they may not compete during their first year of college. In order to be eligible as an academic redshirt for the Division I level, students must graduate from high school with the same 16 core courses listed on the previous slide. They have to have a minimum core course GPA of a 2.0, and they have to meet the academic redshirt sliding scale requirements relative to their GPA and their SAT and/or ACT test scores. At the end of this presentation, we will provide information on the links available on the NCAA website for the full sliding scale for Division I, for both full eligibility and academic redshirts, and we will also provide the information for the NCAA Division II. This slide, however, provides some information as a partial example of what an academic redshirt sliding scale will look like, and also a full qualifier. For the academic redshirt sliding scale, you'll see a partial example with the GPA from a 2.0 to a 2.29, and then the corresponding SAT score and the ACT sum score. The sum score is the 4 sections of the ACT added together. In blue, you'll see the sample of the sliding scale for a full qualifier from the minimum 2.3 GPA to a 3.5 and the corresponding test scores. You'll notice as the GPA increases, the test score requirement decreases. It's important to understand how the NCAA calculates the core academic GPA for its student athletes. First, only courses on the high school's approved list of NCAA core courses may be used in the GPA calculation. For Park Vista, we submit a list of these courses to the NCAA for approval, and these courses can be located on the NCAA's website, which we'll provide information on later in the presentation. Next, it's important to understand that NCAA will always use the best core course grades in the GPA calculation. For example, if a student were to take 5 math courses with Algebra 1 and higher, but had 1 low grade in those math courses, the NCAA is going to use the 4 best ones ahead of that lower one in the calculation as needed. The core GPA is calculated on a 4.0 scale, where an A is equal to 4 points, a B is 3 points, a C is 2, a D is 1, and an F is 0. The NCAA updated its Division II academic requirements as of August 1st, 2018. These requirements include being a graduate from a high school, completing a minimum of 16 core academic courses, earning a minimum core GPA of at least a 2.20, and presenting a qualifying score on either the SAT or ACT, matching your core course GPA on the NCAA Division II sliding scale. This slide will detail the Division II 16 core course breakdown, which includes 3 years of English, 2 years of math, Algebra 1 or higher, 2 years of natural or physical science, 1 with a lab, 3 years of additional coursework in English, math, or natural science, 2 years of social studies, and 4 additional years of coursework from any of the core courses listed above, or in foreign language or comparative religion or philosophy. Please remember that Division III institutions do not require certification by the NCAA Eligibility Center. Eligibility for admission, financial aid, practice, and competition at Division III colleges and universities for the NCAA is determined by the college or university the student attends. Division III student athletes do not receive athletic scholarships, but they may receive merit-based scholarships or need-based financial aid from the college or university that they attend. The NCAA does provide for early academic qualification at the Division I and II level for high school students. Students who want to qualify at the Division I level must meet the following requirements. They have to meet these requirements after 6 semesters of high school to be deemed an early academic qualifier. They have to have a minimum SAT score of a 980 or an ACT sum score of 75. They must have 14 core courses completed with a minimum core academic GPA of 3.0 or higher. Those 14 core courses must include 3 years of English, 2 years of math, Algebra 1 or higher, 2 years of natural or physical science, and 2 additional courses in English, math, or natural or physical science, and then 5 additional academic core courses in any of the areas allowed, which include English, math, natural science, social studies, foreign language, comparative religion, or philosophy. Students are still required to submit a final high school transcript, including their date of graduation. Next, we'll examine the requirements for early academic qualifiers at the Division II NCAA level. Students who meet the following criteria after 6 semesters of high school may be deemed as an early academic qualifier at the Division II level. They must have a minimum SAT score of 900 or an ACT sum score of 68. They have to have a core GPA of 3.0 or higher in a minimum of 14 core courses, which must include 3 English, 3 math, 2 natural or physical sciences, and 6 additional core courses in any of the allowed areas. Students are still required to submit a final high school transcript, including their date of graduation. As indicated earlier in the presentation, students may access the list of approved courses for the NCAA by going to www.eligibilitycenter.org. Select the link at the top for high school administrators, then click on List of NCAA Courses. Then follow the prompts to select your school by name or 6-digit College Board code number. For Park Vista, you can search by Park Vista Community High School, or you may enter the Park Vista college board number, which is 101923. This will allow you to view our list of approved NCAA core courses, which primarily fall in the areas of English, math, science, social studies, and foreign language. Here's some important information for potential student athletes wishing to participate at the Division I or II level with the NCAA. Students should register with the NCAA Eligibility Center during 10th or 11th grade. The NCAA Eligibility Center does charge a $90 registration fee. Students on free or reduced lunch may request a fee waiver from the guidance office as they begin the registration process. Students should also know that a high school course taken in 7th or 8th grade, such as Algebra 1, Geometry, or Foreign Language, may be used if that grade and credit is reflected on the student's high school transcript as a high school course. Students also should know that their SAT or ACT scores must be sent directly to the NCAA from either the College Board or from the ACT. Students should use the code 9999 on their SAT or ACT registration form to request that these scores be sent to the NCAA. Students can mix and match and superscore their SAT or ACT scores to achieve the best possible test results for determination of their eligibility. Here are some important responsibilities for the potential student athlete looking to be eligible at the NCAA Division I or II level. Remember to take college preparatory courses throughout high school in the areas of math, science, English, social studies, and foreign language. Maintain the best possible grades in each of these classes throughout all 4 years of high school. Be sure to take the SAT or ACT during your junior and senior year, again, if necessary. Register for a certification account or profile page with the NCAA Eligibility Center. Remember that you must complete an NCAA eligibility registration in order to be determined to be eligible and also to go on official college athlete visits to universities or colleges. Lastly, don't forget to complete the FAFSA in your senior year of high school. This will help determine other forms of financial aid for you as you look to fund your college education. This slide provides important links for NCAA information and resources. The first link is the main Eligibility Center link. We also provide links to the quick reference guide for students. This is where you can also find those sliding scales for GPA and SAT and ACT scores for both Division I and Division II. We also provide the phone number for the NCAA Eligibility Center customer service. Lastly, remember that your high school coach and your school counselor are both important resources that can assist you throughout this process. Thank you for watching this presentation. Please don't forget to plan to attend our next coffee talk, which will be April 28th on the college application process. Thank you and have a good day.